Iran only attacked Israel when it was attacked to protect itself. In fact, Ismail Haniyeh, the Palestinian representative, was killed inside a secure IRGC compound inside of Iran. How? Yeah. They've killed more Muslims in Syria than Israel has in their entire history of existence. Did you forget what they did in Iraq? The Shia death squads that went out, over 1 million dead Iraqis after the takeover of the Shia government. I'm not even talking about those that were killed during the US-led invasion that Iran helped them with, openly. That right there is almost 2 million dead Muslims on the hands of this bloody regime. That doesn't mean that we support Israel. It's not this dichotomy of either you're with Israel or Iran. No, we're with neither one of those insane maniacs. We're with the Muslim Ummah. We're with the people of Tawheed. We're with the people who want peace. But I want you to understand something, that this is show. Why is it that Iran never cared about Israel in any of the armed conflicts that they had with their Arab or Muslim neighbors and so on, until the first time that Iran attacked Israel was in April 13, 2024. From 1948 to 2024. Why? Why? Because April 1st, 2024, Iran was attacked.
أن إيران قاومت الاحتلال ليس نصرة لغزة، وإنما اعتدي عليها، اعتدي على إيران، فدافعت إيران عن ذاتها، دافعت عن برنامجها النووي، وكان بإمكانها أن تضع شرطا لإيقاف الحرب، إيقاف الإبادة عن غزة، ولم تفعل.
They didn't do it for Palestine, they did it for themselves. Because they got attacked, they retaliated. And they're using Palestine as a drama to kind of hide the fact that they're trying to survive their own regimes. They have shot 250 missiles towards Israel, but over 1,000 against other Muslims recently. Against places like Qatar, places like Emirat, places like Kuwait, people like Saudi, countries that did not even allow the US to use their air bases or to use their airspace. Countries that were not involved in an initial attack, that the US had to use their aircraft carriers in the ocean because these countries didn't allow them to use their airspace. Countries that have said that they did not want this invasion to happen. But Iran threw rockets and missiles, not just at military targets. This is, listen to the leader of Qatar talk about what happened.
There are, unfortunately, continuous Iranian claims that the attacks are attacks on US assets or on US bases in Qatar and the region. We reject this claim, which cannot be accepted under any circumstance. The biggest proof of this is that the attack which happened yesterday was an attack on a Qatari natural gas facility, which is a source of income for the Qatari people. But not just for the Qatari people. What they did yesterday also impacted the millions of people which Qatar is helping.
I want you to understand that these are not attacks on US military targets. These are not attacks on even Qatari military targets. They're on civilian facilities. Now listen to the response of the government of Qatar and how peaceful of a neighbor they are. Listen to their response.
First of all, you know, I think we've said this countless times. Iran has been here for millennia. The people in this region have been here for millennia. Nobody's going anywhere. Total annihilation is not an option. No one people's or country will disappear from existence by the wish or whim of any political actor. We will live next to each other. We will be neighbors for the future of humankind, and we have to find ways of living next to each other. This is a very difficult moment. Our country has been attacked. Our sovereignty has been attacked. We have seen the effects on our economy, on the daily lives of people living here, and we don't take it lightly, and we don't see the attacks on our sovereignty as something that we can live with. Now, that said, obviously living next to 90 million people in Iran, a proud people that we have shared the Gulf with for, as I said, millennia, will continue, and we will have to find a way past this. This is a very difficult moment, but we will find our way out of it. And I have to say here that our message was always to Iran: the brotherly relationship, the neighborly relationship between our peoples should take paramount over any other political consideration. The fact that they decided to attack our country like this does not show good neighborly relations or the essence of that brotherly relationship, but it is something that we don't find any alternative to in our region.
Even after being attacked, even though it's their right to defend themselves now, they are opening up a brotherly, neighborly venue to have peace. Look, you may not realize this, but the Palestinian people receive more support from that Gulf than any other region in the world. In fact, 1.8 billion, yes, with a B, from the United Arab Emirates, 1.5 billion with a B from Qatar, and huge amounts from Saudi and Kuwait and so on. And that's the countries being attacked. Their economies are being attacked. Those people are paying salaries of the people in Gaza. I'm not saying it's enough. The Muslim Ummah needs to do more. No doubt to that. Nobody is denying that.
يعني خليني أفهم من كلامك أستاذ سيد أنكم لستم راضين تماما عن المجهود أو الذي سماه حزب الله الإسناد الذي قام به من أجل غزة.
طبعا نحن كنا يعني نأمل أن يكون أكثر من ذلك.
وإيران؟
ونفس الصورة
إيران لم تفعل شيئا.
لم تفعل شيئا إلا يعني المساندة في أمور لوجستية.
These Arab countries like Egypt and Syria and others at a time had put boots on the ground. Iran only attacked Israel when it was attacked to protect itself. In fact, Ismail Haniyeh, the Palestinian representative, was killed inside a secure IRGC compound inside of Iran. How? It wasn't a drone, it was a bomb that was planted. How did they know? People before him, like Ali Raza Asghar, in 2007, he defected and he's been living in the US because he was working for the US in Israel while pretending to be a part of that regime. When in 2020 and 2025, when Iran lobbed missiles at the US bases, they gave them a heads up.
از حدود 72 ساعت قبل از عملیات به همسایگان عزیزمون و به کشورهای منطقه اطلاع دادیم.
They gave them a warning. Hey, we're going to do this for show. Make sure there's nobody there. This is documented. This is theater. This is them trying to survive as a regime. We as Muslims cannot fall for this. This is nonsense.
معمولا کسی که شهید میشه شما چند ساعت ازش فیلم گرفتید خوشحال میشی که حداقل یه چیز دارید ازش.
نه اتفاقا من داشتم به وحید میگفتم عمو مهدی خیلی خوبه شهید بشه ولی چند سال بعد شهید بشه.
چند سال بعد؟ چند سال؟
دیگه اون موقعی که
به من بگو چند سال؟
اصلا بعد اسرائیل.
5 سال؟
اسرائیل نبود.
نه اسرائیل نازی نیست ریاض. نه اسرائیل نازی نیست ریاض. نه اسرائیل نازی نیست ریاض. سعودی.
آمریکا.
سعودی.
الان سعودی هست.
آمریکا دست ترامپ ان شاء الله خراب میشه.
We as Muslims need to unite, but on the Quran, on the Sunnah, and the way of the Sahaba, the way of the Salaf al-Ummah, upon Tawheed, not upon Shirk, not upon cursing those that were the most beloved to Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We need to stand together. Now, this person who we watched the clip for in the beginning, and I'm not even going to mention his name, but listen to what he has to say.
I curse your mother ritually, but only when you're not around.
Habibi, one, we have a certain reading of this individual, this character in history, this personality. We believe they are a hypocrite, they are liars, and they did many actions that made people deviate from the truth. Yes? That's our reading. And we believe, based upon that, by the principles of the Quran and the Qawa'id within the Sunnah, this personality deserves to be cursed. All we're saying is, for the attempt to peacefully coexist, I will not do it in front of you. But if you ask me, yes, I do it behind closed doors. I do it all the time.
He is telling you himself. He is telling you he curses your mother. If it was your biological mother, if it was your father, if it was your relative and somebody was cursing them, how angry would you get? You should get more angry than that when somebody curses Aisha radhiyallahu anha, the mother of the believers. He's telling you he does it often. He curses the Sahaba. He takes them as hypocrites and kuffar. He makes takfir on them. He's telling you himself. And you're sitting there trying to unite with this man? These are people that have unleashed chemical weapons on children in Syria. These are people that tortured over 1 million people and killed them in Iraq. These are people that started wars all over the Middle East, from Yemen and turmoil in Lebanon. There's more Muslim blood on their hands than anybody else. Look, this doesn't mean that we support Israel. No, we condemn Israel. It's a genocidal, absolute apartheid state. We don't support their wars that they have started in the Middle East, because they have put the Muslims, they have put the masses, the innocent people at risk. We feel for the people of Gaza. We feel for the people of Syria that had been through this at the hands of this regime as well.